And the final thing I'm going to do is add a cool title, and a very original title for this is Deadpool. So hello guys and welcome to a new video. In this video I'd like to show you a Photoshop tutorial this time. And as you can see, it's a Deadpool poster with some cool colorful effects on it. It's not that hard to make, and well, let's get right into it. I'm using some files I found on the internet. I will show you guys how I found these things. But well, let's get straight into it. So first of all, I'm going to create a new document by clicking on my file, new, make it 50, 100 something, or 900 height. Doesn't really matter, just pick a size. Go for 40, that's better. So I call it Deadpool poster. It's something you find a lot on forums and websites, like this kind of things, posters and graphic stuff. First of all, I see I set the wrong resolution, but I'm going to image rotation clockwise, and there we go. There is our work area. So first thing I'm going to do is drag my Deadpool character in it, and I just found them by searching for Deadpool images. My Google is in Dutch, so afbeeldingen means images. Just search for a cool pose, a cool picture that you like. Maybe I found him by searching on wallpaper. Maybe. Or just search for Deadpool PNG. Yep, there we go. There's my character that I've used. So the next thing I'm going to do is resize him, of course, and I'm going to search for a cool ally, but I've already downloaded one. I guess it's this one, so I drag it into my area as well, and I will increase it, scale it a bit. So, and of course set it beneath our character. Move it to the right, something like this position. But he is like a giant right now, so we have to make the perspective and the size a little bit better. I think maybe something like this. And don't worry if it's a large area behind it, we are going to crop it as soon as possible. I'm going to duplicate the character, and I will call this one, let's rename it, double click to shadow, and we're going to create a shadow by blending options, give it a black color, pressing Ctrl T, so we can do a perspective, right click perspective, and just make it the scaling a little bit down, and just like it's a shadow on the floor, so like this. Now we have to move it a little bit up, so just use your arrow keys and just drag down the opacity to 35. I guess it's the best. Let's go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur on it, maybe 3.5. That should do it. There we go. So this is our first setup of our poster scene, and now we are going to add an effect on it, and I'll rename this layer to Deadpool character. We are going to duplicate it, and then we are hiding the layer beneath it, so just get rid of it, and now select the top one, and we are going to our, let's get to our smudge tool. Just hold click. If you are seeing a blur tool, just hold click and go to smudge tool. Then in the top of the window of Photoshop, you can click on the brush presets things, and now we can change it and just mess around with the settings. Shape dynamics, increase the size jitter, to 75. The scattering should be maybe 200%. Let's see what we've got here. Count should be at 1. That's more than enough. This should be 1, 0. And the angle maybe 20%, but it's okay for now. So now we can brush on it. Just click on it. Okay. And now just brush, not too much, just a little bit on his arm and maybe on the leg, a bit of this effect. Not too much. You don't want an overkill on it because that doesn't look good. So not too much, maybe something like this. Good enough. And now we are just clicking on the eye again from the other one. Click on OK, and now we are going to just erase some parts of it, not too much. So it goes back again. Nope, I'm going to leave the sword. Something like this. That's enough. That's enough for now. So now we're going to get a C4D file. Just search on C4D PNG. And there you see a lot of Cinema 4D renders, abstract renders. Just drag one into your file and you can see it got a very cool particular look. And just scale it down a bit. And I want it to get on his leg, so I will drag it just next to his leg. And we are going to make sure it is right click. We are going to rasterize layer. Then we are going to duplicate DEADPOOL. And we are going to make a clipping mask on it and just drag DEADPOOL a little bit to the right and increase the scaling. Very large, just drag it. Maybe rotate it a bit. Just rotate it that you won't see any part of his body, like you don't see a leg or black beneath it, just like it's all filled. Maybe drag the Cinema 4D file a little bit to the left, DEADPOOL a little bit to the right, and now we've got a cool splash effect or a scatter effect. Does it more look like? And maybe I'm going to smudge that one as well. Just smudge the color of it. There we go. And a little bit more. So that is a very cool effect. The next thing we have to do, let's take a look at my project again. We are going to add some cool color to it. So I'm going to drag a galaxy on it. Just Google to galaxy images, and I've used this one, but you can use another one as well. That's just personal opinion what you want. And drag the galaxy on it. Press OK, enter. Make sure it's color dodged. Go to your layer effects and color dodge. Yep. Press OK and just drag it to the position where you want it. Maybe linear dodge, color dodge is good. Just drag it to somewhere you want it to have. I think I just want it something like here. And just get your erase tool and just make sure the hardness is at 0 and the size is a little bit larger, maybe 500. A little bit lower, and make sure these edges are gone. So there we go. There's first color. The next thing we are going to add is a new layer. Then we're going to click on Image, Adjustments, Gradient Map. Oops, I forgot something. Just go to Image, Apply Image. And then we can go to Image Adjustments, Gradient Map, and just click on this color with the purple and the orange. Double click on the purple square and just pick a dark gray purple color and click on the orange one as well, and just give it a bright color like it's now an old look. That's what I want. Press OK, because now I'm going to get an effect, and I will go to lighten. So now it's just all these colors are fitting better than without the colors. You can decrease the opacity a little bit, maybe to 80%. So now we just got a cool look. The next thing I'm going to add is going back to my folder again. I'm going to add a dust, and you can go to Google and just type in dust with the images and just pick a cool picture. Maybe this one is cool as well, but I'm always using this image. I really like that image, so I just drag it into that and just rotate it a little bit, and I'm going to add a screen on it, or maybe a color dodge. Color dodge is good as well. Just increase it. Let's see what the difference is. Color dodge is better. Just increase it and make sure to erase the edges again. Erase them. And maybe opacity a little bit down of your erase brush, so you don't have that bright yellow at the bottom. So now we have a cool effect on our Deadpool character. Now just create a new layer and go to your brush again. Pick a red color and make sure it's not too big, just small, and just get some cool colors like green and red, and just brush some parts on him. Maybe I want a bluish color more though. Something like this, and go to screen. Maybe color dodge. I always have to check what result is better. I'm going for linear dodge right now, but I'm going to erase tool and opacity set to 20%, and I'm just going to set down the opacity of this brush just a little bit. It's maybe too much color now. Something like this. It's better. The next thing I'm going to do is add a new gradient map on it. Apply image, yep, new adjustment gradient map. And now I'm going to pick the same color, but instead of doing the purple thing again, I'm going to do the red color. Give it a little bit of a red gray look. Going back to red, because Deadpool himself is red. So I would like to give it something similar. Maybe a little bit more to the gray side. Something like this. This looks good. And just try the same options, lighten, maybe overlay. Overlay was too much. Lighten maybe. See the difference, and maybe if you like it more than before, then you can use it. Sometimes the result is not better, so you can delete it. But I think I will just leave the opacity by 35%. That's okay for me. Next thing we can do is add a white color in it, like it's a light. Just increase your brush very large. Click on it and make sure it's light. No overlay, but it's too much brighten right now, so I'm going to decrease the opacity to 20%. That's okay for me. Now I'm going to crop my file a little bit. It's maybe too large right now, so something like this, or this is okay. And the final thing I'm going to do is add a cool title, and a very original title for this is Deadpool. So I'm going to add Deadpool on it, and I'm going to click a new layer. Make sure my title is hidden. I'm going to apply a new image on my new layer. I'm going to check my title again and make sure that new layer is a clipping mask on it. Now drag it down a little bit. Just rotate it. Make sure the whole title is, you can read the whole title so it's not hidden. And just give it a drop down shadow. Maybe change the angle, opacity. So there's a very cool first thing look like. Maybe you can just add some white spots with the brush on the title and the image. Make sure the hardness is at 0 and just use some screen or color dodge, something like this. That looks cool. Overlay that, maybe not there, something like this. That looks good. Maybe the last thing you can add, most of the time I always add, is a vignette, but sometimes it doesn't look great, so don't use it too much. Get the erase tool and just, oops, my opacity is at 20, make sure it's 100, and just make a vignette on your work. Maybe decrease the opacity a little bit. So there we go, there's our first cool Photoshop poster of Deadpool. You see a lot of these graphic images on forums, as I said, or on other websites. I hope you guys liked it. It's a little bit different than all my After Effects tutorials. In the future I would like to make some more Photoshop tutorials. If you got any questions about it, just leave it in the comments, and I always like to help you guys out with some things. If you are messed or stuck with anything, just ask and I can always give you some feedback for stuff. And make sure to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to stay tuned at other videos, and I will see you guys in the next video.